Okay, good morning and welcome to Monos. Well, actually, today is WARship. So, good morning and welcome to WARship featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. You know, the one thing about this is that it's always a production. So, I be having to get my production straight. All right, let me take my earpiece out. Please, if y'all could refrain from texting and calling me during the live stream, it would be greatly appreciated. Um, wow, boy, did a lot of things happen in the fictitious town, in the fictitious cemetery. So let me just first give a few little disclaimers on what you're about to witness. Me, Mo, um, am in a virtual space on YouTube, participating actively in a fake town. Right, I got a little city called Motown Mo, and there is a fake town. It's a Kanekianville place. It's Kanekianvillian. What did the guy call it? Kanekiavillian area, neighborhood. And in that neighborhood, there lies a bunch of characters who either have a channel on the YouTube or they are an active subscriber on the YouTube. And in this fictitious town, Kanekiavillian town, there is a cemetery where all those dead, dormant channels and subscribers thrive at in this little cemetery. They go around, they do little things and whatever. So imagine that place being captured one day on like a Netflix or on some kind of media surface that goes beyond this social media platform, and compare its activities to that of the folks that you see on, primetime, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, reality shows. That's what today's discussion is around. It's around that type of social media town that's built up and the people that live in it. That's all this is. And the conversations that I'm about to engage in, is as if you was watching Basketball Wives and I was giving you a critique of Basketball Wives. Today, I will give you a critique of the Kanekian Villian land and the stuff that only happens in that Kanekian Villian community. As time progresses, I will find another way to convey that this is a small subsection in the algorithm on YouTube where these activities happen at. So, if you have had a hard time understanding this fictitious world, this is where we're at. And I hope that that introduction really brings you to that place and brings your mindset to what we're talking about. We're talking about something that is similar to a reality show that you would see somewhere on a network that you subscribe to, be it your cable channel or whatever. So this discussion is around that. So where do I begin? And I really have to explain it like that, because I have people that are new subscribers to my channel And when I talk about these issues that only occur in that Kanikavilian space, they get lost. So hopefully this is a good intro. All right, let me see where I'm at. I am trying desperately to fix the audio issues. So I think it's the right ear can't hear. I'm working on that. I was going to change the sound this morning to something else, but I don't want to do it. I added to today's episode of WARship, I added a link for those who want to come on the panel and discuss anything. As my rules stand, your discussion should align with the topic. And what I'm going to beg of anybody that chooses to join is that we don't talk over each other, because, and I'm practicing this as I'm on other platforms as well. So it's a dialogue and process. Because we need to be able to hear what's being said effectively. And sometimes when you're on this panel style, it just doesn't hit the mark up. It doesn't hit the mark point. Okay, let me see. I gotta find my YouTube now. All right, I gotta first find this because I need to keep it in the forefront to see if anybody joins. Because the last time, and please, you see the StreamYard link there. Do not write in my private chat of the link. If you're going to come up there, come up there. If you're not, then don't. Ain't no time. Like, I don't understand the games you folks play around here, but y'all ruthless with the shiz. Y'all be ruthless with it. And I don't really understand. I really don't understand. It's so petty betties around here. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I bother sometimes. Okay, next up. Where's my content at? Where's my live stream at? All right, there's the live stream. Oh, stuffing. Uh-oh. Honey Lot. What you doing up, my lady? What are you doing up there? That's interesting. Very interesting. Uh-oh. Handlers out. Handlers out. Handlers on deck. Handlers on deck. This is about to get funky this morning. Today's title. Oh. Could we benefit from stronger thesis statements? For example, hypothetical reality versus UTubeShips. Wow, that's a mouthful, Mo. Where that come from? Where that come from? It come from people telling lies, providing misinformation up here all the darn time. People with their false narratives. I'm supposed to believe that many folks on here are educated or furthering their education. So I hope at the end of this live, you grade my performance 100. And you can put it inside the comments. You can use that little 100 to give me a 100. Because if the professor was marking my paper, he would find this very interesting. The place, the town, the plot, the everything as it develops. So I want to get a high mark, and I want to make sure that I have taken the time to make a strong thesis here. Went that extra mile. Oh, that's me and my petty ghost. Moving on. Did any of you catch John Frank the other day? I put the link inside the description of the video that I am discussing. As you may or may not be aware, it's a fast moving environment in the Kanikavelian land. And let me take off my do-rag, because you know one of my biggest fans hates when I'm up here with my do-rag on. So let me just helps us out. But you know, when I bunned me up this morning, I put the do-rag on. But that's not really a do-rag. That's the woman's version of the do-rag. I did invest in one of those. Okay, so that I got that under control. But I only like them when I'm looking like on that situation. Very interesting that you would find yourself inside the bushes, sir. Good morning to you. So I guess this is an appropriate time to segue into, did you see John Frank's live? I think it was 2 days ago. I missed it in the live format. I caught it at the butt end of it. So sometimes when I go into things at the butt end, I rewind to watch the beginning. And I did that in this particular instance. And I found the conversations to be very interesting that was going on. And I took a part of it. There's no lounge emoji. You just need a couch. But we don't use emojis over here. I took a moment to listen to what I heard, and then I formulated a community post out of it. And I could have worded the community post better. Shout out to Karen, who, when it went out, reached out to me and was like, girl, what the hell are you doing? It ain't nobody, like, she was livid with me. Let me just put it like that. And I was like, I did not intend the community post to offend Smedium. I intended the community post to highlight a construct that he related in John Frank's video. And I thought it was I thought it hit all my themes that I always speak out against: groupthink, cult-like environments, and how people interact with one another, how they value their self-worth, and how people are understanding these environments that we're in a social space. And I believe that John, and this is my opinion of John Frank, with a high level of respect, is that sometimes he doesn't quite hear the messages that are being sent to him as he's navigating this fictitious world that we're in on the internet. Hold up, I said don't text me, but I got a notification on something and I'm gonna see what that's about. All right. Anyway, I'm going to play a portion of the video so that I bring you the context around what I'm talking about. And then hopefully we'll take the discussion up from that point. Let me get these hellos up in here while I deal with that. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to go here. I want to Hey, Karen, what's up? Let's see who else is in the chat so I could just get the hellos. The honey lot, which was a surprise to me for this morning. And this is going to be interesting. Good morning to Medium. And good morning to Glib Talk. And I got to do something else because I forgot to do it on my unboxing video. Okay, so here we are with that. So tell me if you can hear the clip as I play it, because I downloaded it after the fact. So I'm playing it off the YouTube. Mo, do you want to do that? Nope, I don't want to do that. Nope, I'm going to do it separate off of the YouTube. Can y'all hear that? Oh, shit. Did I timestamp it?
Conversation won't get nowhere. But look, if you're not hating on me, then it's all good. You feel me? But stop manipulating Brandon, because I see that. I see that for what it is.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some Scottie Pippen in it. All right, you couldn't hear it? All right, good. Let me just go over to my sound play. Which one is this video? I think this is the video one. Nope. Capture a specific window. And let me go to the window that I want to capture is... Ah, damn it.
And do you got something against LTG?
All right, that's not... Did it happen before that point? Hold on, let me just see something. I'm glad y'all can't hear this, but do. I don't like playing the things off of the YouTube sound. I'm trying to isolate this screen by itself. But that's not a screen, Glib. What is that? It's not a window. Well, it's not a window that I want to play. All right, we're going to have to do it a different way. Tell me if you can hear it this way. And I want to go back to like...
Didn't they just play some yesterday?
Yo, she didn't even really call. She didn't even really call.
Wait.
Okay, did y'all hear that? Plan C. Bring it to this other thing. Hold up a second. Let me bring it over here. And let me see. Share. I might be able to pull the sound up this way. Oh, it's interesting that it's considered a window. Okay. All right. Let's try this sound, and let me make sure I have it on. This is what happens when you use OBS. Okay, I have a OBS for that. All right, let's see.
Don't ask me the questions about nobody else, bro. I don't get into all that
Do
shit.
you
I'm not
have
worried
credit
about the
against other
people,
people?
bro.
Yes, no.
Could you hear that? Be careful of some of this shit, Mo. They look for people's attention to get some reaction. I got you. I got you on that. But could you hear it? I'm bringing it in through another source. So I just wanted to know if you could hear it. Do 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 do. Yes, for the third time. Okay. Well, you know there's a delay. Ooh, you touchy. Ooh, people in their fifis early in the morning. Go get some coffee. Go get some coffee, girl. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And I think that's a good warning because there are going to be characters mentioned in this little clipping, but here it is.
Got more respect for a motherfucker that would dox your life, cause if you got into an argument with him, than a motherfucker that would keep it real with you. That's your
We doing
problem.
the same shit, bro.
That's your
You
problem.
dox
Now,
people before too, right? You ain't never doxed nobody.
yeah, I doxed them, but when you
Okay,
see
so
how
wait,
you
what?
see how everybody's willing to
What?
stop them.
Okay, what is doxing? Doxing is when you take somebody's personal information and you make it you take somebody's private information. I say personal, but you take somebody's private information and you make it public. In certain industries, we call it personal information. So it's not information. It would be like your name, your social security number, your phone number, your address. This is personal, identifiable information that is private and you make it public. On the YouTube and in social spaces, people say, well, I go to these websites that are public and I type in your name, and if I find out information about you, it's public information. I disagree with that because everyone is using aliases on this YouTube space. I'm Monica Mo Justice. When you go and you type in on your thing Monica Mo Justice, whatever comes up for that would be what you find. But if you go deeper and you find out what my government is, uh to that extent, you've done some doxing because I brought my image out here as Monica Mo Justice, and that's what I should be recognized as. So anything outside of that is a form of doxing. I've heard this term in this last week being used out here by people to express I've been doxed. They've taken this and put this out here. They've used it. It's interchangeable in ways that are not going to get anybody no legal recourse. But anyway, they do it anyhow. Anywho.
You gotta
Why you
understand who's
saying
still
what,
pushing
bro?
this.
What are you
Who's
talking
still trying
about?
to
You
push
just
this? Because they don't got nothing
I
else.
swear, I
That
don't care
motherfucker
about the
couldn't
gay
shut
shit.
his
Don't
mouth
go, bro,
against
bro,
his
bro,
wife.
bro,
He couldn't shut
bro.
his
Y'all
mouth against
sound
his wife.
wild,
He
bro.
got no self
Listen
control,
to what I'm
no
saying to
social
you, bro. You
skills.
sound wild, bro. You acting like a
wild, but
female
you
right now.
respecting
Like, you
him.
just keep over talking. Like, you just trying to constantly keep going for no reason.
Now I could say on this YouTube space, over talking people is not female behavior. It's sometimes it's male behavior that's out here, you know. So I just think it is a lack of respect for each other's conversation, and it is something that we've got to work on to get better at.
Right? And just keep saying shit. Like, you
This
don't
is how
put,
we do
bro,
it
I
in this
didn't bring
space.
up
Gotta get
JJ
you on.
not one time, right? That didn't make no sense. You sound loud dick ratting these people every
So,
day,
so,
bro.
alright, so let's clear this up to the whole America. No, the whole world watching. You not.
Okay, heard what John said? He said the whole world is watching. Where the whole world at? Right now, I got 23 people in my room. At the end of this stream, I may get 200, 300 views on this. Who the hell is the whole world? Oh, it's that little town, that Kanikavilian town. You mean to tell me all the people that are in that town constitute the whole world? It's a small footprint when you really look at what's going on and how these people communicate with one another. It's a small snippet of a YouTube space, but it's not the whole world. What a wonderful day if this storyline grew into something and the whole world did watch it one day. Y'all would be so outraged by how the role that you play in it and how you depicted your character in the midst of this. The whole world.
Protecting the snitch. That's what you're saying.
Bro, you sound wild, bro. This don't
Protecting the
even make
snitch.
no
Yes or
sense.
no?
Nope.
And that'll clear everything up.
I just said
That's it, y'all. Yo, that's it, y'all. Don't bring that shit to him no more. He not protecting the snitch. He don't got shit to do with that. He's
All right. I have no idea when I'm listening to this who the hell the snitch is. And I had no idea prior to this who put up a video, who called police on what was who the female was that called the police. I had no idea. I had to do some more due diligence down the road, and I believe I may know who these people are right now. But at this juncture, this is all we're hearing. And I want you to pay attention to what is the conversation in and of itself.
just minding his business and watching.
Is you protecting the snitch?
Look, it's your turn to ask me questions. Go ahead.
I just asked you. Is you protecting
I know, but I had to let you know that. Who's the snitch?
Didn't they just play some yesterday with Grilly?
Yo, she didn't even really call. She didn't even
Oh,
really
so
call.
wait. All right, wait. So you're protecting the liar, right? So she just.
So Reckless, because that's the other voice. I call it Smedium. Smedium points out who's the other snitch. And then John Frank replies, well, it's not a snitch. It's she didn't even do it. So there was no snitching involved. Okay, so Reckless renames, gives us a new noun for the snitch, and calls this person the liar. because either you did what you said you did on the video, and you came out here and made a narrative, I called the police, or you lied. It's one or the other, but it's not both. The other voice is Medium.
No, I'm telling you the truth. She really didn't call.
That voice is that of John Frank.
She really didn't call.
Like she did.
Yo, there's a difference between the threat and actually doing it.
Bro, why
You say, John, I'm gonna kill you, but you didn't do it.
Why would she fake and make a police report, bro?
No, I'm not saying. I'm like, she threatened on the internet that she was or did it, but she didn't do it. You know why? Because I would have knew about it. And at that time,
listen to what he said. He said, "How do I know that did not happen? because she would have told me. Show me to your leader. She would have told me. So whoever the she is in this discussion is a follower by John's own definition. She's not an independent thinker. She's not somebody that moves on her own and is shaking and making and doing things on her own. This is somebody that it can be manipulated and handled by John Frank. Because if she had done this, she would have shared this with him. So yeah, she one of those.
We didn't roll like that. That was just emotional shit from a woman. Women could do shit like that. That's the thing. I think it's not okay for women. It's more acceptable in society for women to go to the cops than men.
All right, check this out. Right? Please tell me you heard this, right? Didn't you hear "Don't call the police on straight drive" from the hotel?
Okay, now I'm lost again in this story because I don't know when this happened. So I need background in this situation. I didn't see any live where anybody called any police on the other character that they just mentioned. So I'm preference this, but I don't know this to be true for myself. So if you have the video and can share that with me, it would be very helpful for my research. But I don't know who called what on whom. But here's their discussion, and I'm going to go back 20 seconds to bring us into it again.
Women is more acceptable in society for women to go to the cops than men.
All right, check this out, right? Please tell me you heard this, right? Didn't you hear "Don't call the police on straight drive" from the hotel? Or you didn't hear that?
Yeah, I know that's a fact. But check this out. I got you on that.
I'm just asking questions.
No, you're right. But check this out. If he don't got listen. No, bro, you're right. But let me tell you this: if he don't got a problem with it and he goes to her chat, he's the big dog. If he goes to her chat, then it's okay. If he didn't go there and blow her handle, then other motherfuckers.
This is what I'm saying, right? But listen what I'm saying, right?
Listen to how people describe each other here.
See, this is what I was telling you before. You live in a hypothetical reality, right? We are all human beings. You choose to put these people above you because you say big dog. Like that's why you'll never get nowhere.
No, I'm talking about in this YouTube. Does he not get 285 people? Does he get 245 people compared to what I get? What, 39? 39 compared to that. Come on, bro. I can call him a big dog. That's not a problem. On YouTube?
I'm just saying, bro. Like, look, this sounds wild.
That's hate, bro. That's hate. If I can't call him a big dog on YouTube, he ain't earned that. He ain't put in his.
What he earned, bro? Drop's cool. What? He do what he do, bro. Nobody has a problem with it. But what I'm saying to you is like the logic of how you look at stuff, bro. You're like you put a butt on a situation, right? So you're like if you're like, oh well, straight drop don't care about it, then why should I care?
Right? If you care about it, I care about it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But that's what I'm saying, bro.
About it, I care about it.
Bro, how can you mix YouTube with reality, bro? You can't be cool. Listen what I'm saying to you. Listen what I'm saying before you keep talking, bro. Just listen. Because I keep telling you I don't got nothing against nobody. I'm just saying what happens on YouTube, right? So if that.
Do you hear that? I'm just saying what happens on YouTube. Because this is not the shit that people that wake up every morning in a community experience. This is only the stuff that you experience when you log into this system, and I'm gonna use some language that is common conversation here in the Kanekavillian world. They log on to a free app called YouTube, and they go into this imaginary space, their channel, and their channel sits inside a grouping with people that think like this. And it is getting crazier and crazier as the days go by. And people that are, there are ancillary subjects on here that I will consider them to be collateral damage for other people's success. What does that mean? There are people here that prey, the PREY, on people that have that have challenges but money. Let me just say that again. People prey on other people who have challenges, but they also have money. So in this space, people are willing to be friendly with somebody that might appear to be over the top. And they will intentionally befriend them because they have money, to get to a common goal, to get their money. And I have seen this happen time and time again on this space. So who has been the persons that do this type of stuff? Before I go into who has been the persons that do this type of stuff, let's go to who are the persons in every television show you see, or every plot inside of a story. If you can write a good book, not the books that we know that some of the people from Kanika have made that they post to Amazon, going beyond those books, right? A good book has a good plot, and inside the good plot, they also have a villain. And they have a villain that, believe it or not, is the nucleus, right? That's the main point, right? The nucleus to all the external situations, right? So let's just call the Robin Sinners the nucleus to all the external situations. And in the past month, we've heard that the Robin Sinners are getting a divorce. Holy crap. And what did you see happen when they announced they was getting a divorce? They're the nucleus, right? They're the biggest villain in the town. And as they sit there as the nucleus, the villain in the town, all the other different circles and groups of people have now conjugated, and they either wanted to speak to either member. And they formulated teams on here. There was team the husband and team the wife. And as of yesterday, people disassociated with the teams because the scam rose. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Because the scam rose up. They sat here and they walked you through the demise of that family entity, the husband and the wife, ground zero. Everybody came around it with their storylines and their plots and their whatever. And then here came the kill. Him. So we're led to believe in this fake ass world that the husband snitched, because this is y'all language out here, so I'm just going to preach y'all language, that the husband snitched on the wife and went down to the police station and filed an aggravated harassment, a misdemeanor, on the wife, and she is going to speak to the magistrate. Do you know what a magistrate is? Yo, this hat. Go get your dictionaries out. A magistrate in some jurisdictions is equivalent to a judge. They are the people that you go before to decide when you've been arrested. So you've been charged with something. You have then been arrested, and you are before a magistrate, aka a judge, determining arraignment, determining if you are able to go back into society while this case is being heard. Somebody came to you and said, I spoke to the magistrate. Are you serious right now? I was sitting here like, really? And all I have to do is turn myself in. So what was the purpose of that? The purpose of that is to get to your money, your donations. Again, we're talking about subscriber-based ripoffs here in cyberspace. All of this to get to people's monies. All of this to get to people's monies. Now, I don't know how people fell out because I'm sorry, guys. I do not watch y'all channels independent. So when I say I don't watch people's channels, let me just be clear. I'm not subscribed to people's channels. So I don't get subscription notifications that you guys are live. When I do pick up somebody's channel that I'm not subscribed to, because I'm going to make sure my language is very clear from now on, because I don't like what happened when I was speaking to John on the platform. And he's talking about, so you watch them. No, I do not watch them. I'm not subscribed to the channel, but there have been occurrences where I have watched an episode or two. But am I consuming these people as a channel I subscribe to? No. But I have watched some things go down. When some things go down for research purposes, I need to be able to see this stuff for myself and then translate it. So at the end of the day, in this hypothetical reality that you've created called Kanikavillian land, this is the shit that goes on. It's not real. It's make-believe. It can't be real the way you folks process this information around here. So what happens? So now the plot thickens. You got this other lady come out and say, hey, when you go in, take my number. And I'm like, what the F she needs her number for? So here's what is said on the platform, just as clear as that. Well, you know they don't let you take your cell phone into the jail with you. So I won't have my cell phone, so I can't call you. Just call me. Yes, it's just call me. Why? Because that person is planning their scam on top of the scam. Because you know the scams just go on top of each other. So this is going to be collecting funds for somebody's bail. So what happens? Some big dog. What you say, Frankie? What I gotta be like, what Frankie the Truth said? Let me see if I go back a little bit. What did he say?
I'm a big dog. That's not a problem. On you, sure?
He said the big dog. So I get called in yesterday and somebody says to me, they don't say this, but I'm gonna use this terminology. The big dog went live and said, do not give your money to this person. And I said, oops. That now means that everybody that formed Team the Guy and Team the Woman in this divorce have now went their separate ways. They have now went their separate ways. And you know why they went their separate ways? They went their separate ways because the scam was coming. So they can help you. And you should have known all along that nobody was team any of these motherfuckers. Any which way you put it. And this is how you know nobody can be team them, but there could be a fear of them. And that's where we're going to talk about the Sparkle situation and fear. But anybody being team the guy or team the woman is a dumbass. If you are actually thinking that you are signed on to one of those two people as team anything, you are dumber than Forrest Gump. You are on some, like, your brain you need a therapist. If you are actually saying, I'm team any of those two. One, because they've been a villain, and most of you have been on their wall of shame. They've tried to shame you. the damage that those people did, and this is what I was saying on John's platform yesterday, the damage and the carnage that they left, in the words of Karen, Jekyll and Hyde, the damage that they did to people was remarkable, in that they got victim after victim. They came inside the rooms and they plotted on the subscribers in the chat. They plotted on the people here. There was no way to ever believe that anybody was team either one of them. The only people, and I'm going to be with all due respect, that could absolutely be with them right now is somebody who hasn't been victimized by them or hasn't been here since season fucking 0. I'm not even gonna give it season 1. You had to be here for the inception of the Kanika experiment. You had to be here when that young lady turned up dead and the community was being formulated. And you would have seen that they were hypocritical Christians on here. The guy came here and said, this is the husband, and I cannot keep reiterating this. He came here and said, I have not been in the church for as long as my wife has. So you gotta forgive me when I stray and start fucking with people like Monica Mo Just Ass. And I start attacking people like Monica Mo Just Ass. And I do things like that because she's more in the word than me. These are people that were praying, Praying, with people on here that were spiritual. That because of that unification with the devil, see, I might have to come back and drop the video of me telling the wife, I ain't gonna fuck with you. Momo backed out when she met that spirit. It ain't never changed. And what did the lady say when she was on my platform? She said, so you don't like my spirit? No, bitch, I don't. And I never will. And that's what's going on around here. Most people don't like that spirit that she has. So to see her yesterday on the platform intimidating her biggest donor was fucking outrageous to me. It was just outrageous. It was absolutely outrageous. And she did it so openly. And it was accepted by the people watching. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But I saw it with my own 2 eyes. As they were sitting there on the big dog's platform. What an epitome. Thing is crazy. But if you haven't been around, and this is what I try to tell people all the time, you gotta know the hashtag background on some of this stuff. And then you can relate to it more. But when you're just getting regurgitated misinformation, you can only run with what you presented with. Never once did I believe anybody is team either one of them. Never once did I believe anybody is team anyone, because you would have to be a damn fool. People's sisters, aunts, cousins, they harassed everybody and anybody. I was just waiting for the tide to turn and they come back on each other. There's no reason for her to sit on, I was about to say Slowy's platform, sit on the big dog's platform yesterday and endure those conversations that long unless something is seriously scripted or something seriously wrong. But in a community that doesn't extend, that's not worldwide, doesn't extend past the viewers in this cohort, It's it's entertainment for this group and this group alone. Nobody else is going to understand it. You guys are not worldwide. Y'all are as wide as the net is that you create. You as wide as the channels that you circumvent in this community to make it appear that you are a big dog in some big world. There is no way people are getting 800 views when they shut down their lives on here. There is no way that is occurring. The reason why rooms, big dogs rooms, got 200 and something people in there is because when the 40 people show up, they bring in their trolls. And honestly, I think this community, because something weird happened when I interviewed Karen, I think this community really does have a baseline of maybe the 200 people. And one of these days, I'm going to sit down and really construct the who's who and see what the actual count is. But at the end of the day, there's a fraction of people on here. There's a fraction of people in this community. And the extent of this being a worldwide experience, it is only the experience of the people that are in this little circle right here. It's not that big. And you're not going to make it that big. I don't care how well you try. And we know you can script things because I didn't watch it, but y'all put on a show earlier this year. I think y'all had a series going on. What happened to that? I did not watch not one episode, so I cannot tell you what occurred on it. But y'all know y'all put together a production. And y'all was moving in a different direction as a cohort. What happened to that community that you was building a subgroup out of this community? What became of it? I just saying, what happened to that? That people had to go back to the storyline of the couple. So when folks got on platform after platform, when you had now remember, the husband and wife that are now getting a divorce participated in something called in Mo's words, the Messy Memphis Meetup. I don't even remember what year that was, if it was 2019 when the Messy Memphis Meetup, it had to be 2019, took place. It would have been like July 2019, this time in July. The Messy Memphis Meetup got canceled. This is supposed to be a big production where, I don't know what the hell his name is now, but YouTube Court TV, right? If somebody could tell me what the new channel became. YouTube Court TV was supposed to take a group of people and meet up with the big dog in Tennessee. I gotta go find that rap song. Hold on a minute. I swear, every time this damn thing does this. When I get off the live this time, I'm going to make sure I disconnect the one that's down here. Anyway, when they went to the Messy Memphis Meetup, right, it got canceled. It was a debacle. Check out the usage of the word debacle, right? It was an epic failure. That's when you can use the word debacle in a sentence. It was a complete failure. They did not meet up there. And when they did not, see, I'm educating y'all along the way because people going to school and they up here trying to make you think they smarter than the average second grader. But in the debacle that happened, two couples did meet up, right? Two couples met in Memphis. This, regardless of whatever faux pas happened, because tickets were already purchased, and they met up. Two couples met. One couple was this couple that's about to get divorced, the Robinsoners, and there was another couple consisting of a guy and a female, and they went there. And you will recall that the guy and the female, I don't know if they were dating at the time, but they were there. They are now a couple. If they weren't a couple at that time and I got that narrative wrong, forgive me. But they are now married with the child, okay? So since that meetup, they have had a child and got married. I don't know which order, but at the end of the day, they are a married couple with the small child. And they met up at the Messy Memphis meetup with the Robinsoners. And the guy, out of that second couple, the guy paid for the dinner. So yesterday, when the woman, the wife now, of the guy who paid for the dinner, went up on the platform and got into an argument, this is what I was saying. Okay, so I want y'all to know what I was processing. I said, well, wait a second. Didn't the big dog, didn't he have streams where he was promoting Team the Female in that divorced couple? So where was all of that energy when he was promoting her for a couple of weeks now? You mean to tell me, and I guess I'm going to have to put names on it so that it makes sense to everybody. You mean to tell me that Albany had nothing to say when the big dog was up there doing videos, getting all the scoop from the wife in the divorcee group, from the Robinsoner, from the biggest Robinsoner, the woman? You mean to tell me she sat there idly by with all that pent up anger that we heard yesterday, and she had nothing to say all along? See, I'm going to tell you how I see things. If you know, if you're roped in from the beginning and someone tells you, let me do my shit, and then you get your day, then you just wait back and you get your day. That might have happened here. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because there's no way. Or they never participated when he was collaborating with Big Shirley to get her story out there, to get the scoop. Because yes, I do believe that when somebody has did that much damage that these people had did, right? Calling Section 8 on the big dog, right? Remember, the big dog had to do some moving around because his home was in jeopardy because they went and contacted social service. No, not social services. Who's them other people? In New York, they're all considered part of social services, but in different capacities. So let's just say they contacted Section 8 to say he's living in the apartment with his girlfriend and he's not supposed to be there. Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck? That's a snitch. That's when motherfuckers are snitching. When somebody calls Section 8 to tell Section 8 that somebody's living somewhere and that they're not supposed to be living at. That's some grimy shit to do. Do you honestly think people that engage in that kind of terrorism, and they got mad because years ago I called the Robinsoners terrorists? And every terrorist has its day. And that's what you saw happen here. And there's probably more to come. Because people do want to laugh and dance on those people's demise. They don't care how it happens. And I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot blame them. If somebody has hurt you to the extremes that those people hurt people on here, what were you expecting? You wasn't expecting this storyline to ride out into the sunset. These people have something against, they have personal vendetta. These people have decided that vengeance is theirs. That's all. That's everything. And I am not presenting this in a position that I dislike what anybody has done here against the Robin Sinners. I think that hurt people hurt back. And I believe that this was probably their best example of how they could get out there. I'm not putting anybody, I needed to put a name on it. If anybody, let me just put this back up here. If anybody wants to make any kind of disparaging videos towards me, they could go right ahead. I'm calling shit how I see it. And sometimes when you call shit how you see it, it's just how you see it. I'm not friends with anybody. So let's just make this motherfucking clear on this bitch right this motherfucking moment. I have dumped everything that Momomo started here with so that I could be independent of the bullshit. There's nobody calling me to tell me about none of this shit. It's none of that going on. And the little relationships that I still have in effect, they are of mutual respect. Because they don't inundate me with this bullshit. That's about it. And they are less than a handful. I have less than a handful of relationships from here that I deem from content creators. There might be some shit with a little bit of subscribers, but there's none of this. So if somebody wants to get angry or whatever, I don't talk about y'all truths. I talk about the motherfucking facts here. These are motherfucking factoids. You can go back and look at it. I'm kicking facts. There's a fact. There was a meetup in Memphis. Fact. Those were the people that met up with it. This is a fact. Either there was an agreement not to say anything while people gathered information on the Robin Sinners, because there would be no reason to have that kind of reaction on that day yesterday if Faith had been on that man's platform weeks ago and was telling her story weeks ago. I don't know if Faith was on his platform because I did not watch his videos on their marriage. But you guys watched it. The link, if you ain't never spoke to me before, the link is in the description. The link is in the chat to come up on the chat and speak to me on the live. Otherwise, I don't speak to people I don't know. I'm not familiar with you. I don't speak to you, and I don't raise your concerns here. You have to first be introduced to me, and I don't know you. So take the opportunity to hit the link to talk, or otherwise don't say nothing else to me. Don't ask me no questions when you haven't been formally introduced to me. And those are the rules around here. Okay, so moving on as to The stuff, and I know y'all getting upset because you don't like people to know that you don't like people to know. No, I'm speaking in general. You don't like people to point out that you mofos are in cahoots even with your anger. You don't like people to understand that people would creatively harvest pain to come out and air it later. There's no way I could be upset with the woman from that married couple and watch stuff develop if I wasn't in on the situation from the gate. Moving on, here comes another one up there. And people are celebrating these actions as if, because this is what you do inside of dormant environments. You celebrate little wins, however you see it. So here comes Black Snowflake onto the platform. Here she come. Here comes Black Snowflake, and she's about to tear into the Robinson woman. Do you know what the Robin, seeing the setup now, because it took her a minute to realize the shit. She leaves. Stage right. Out. Or maybe y'all stage left. But the bottom line is she gets the fuck out of there. Because now she could see that anybody and everybody that now had a gripe in that community can now come up and speak. They've been allowed to address it. Ooh. How y'all like being manipulated like that? That you can be angry at somebody, dismayed at what somebody has done to you, but you cannot act upon it until you are given the permission to do so. Oh, God. God, no. Jesus. This is why it's best to be an independent thinker all the time. That group think shit, where it manipulates how you're to be angry, is ridiculous. And it makes your anger look fake. It makes it look like it's not authentic. It looks as scripted as the rest of the shit that's out here. Yeah, y'all look like fake bitches. Niggas and bitches, in the words of Karen. Y'all look fake. Y'all look pathetic. Y'all look washed the fuck up. Ain't nothing rich about that shit. It's more representing the no life than anything could represent a good life, a great life, the best life, or a rich life. Any other motherfucking life that's out there, you can't really deem it. You know why? Because you're not self-thinkers. You've allowed yourself to be in this space, in this little space, this small world, and think that you are doing something big. You're insignificant. You're insignificant to the plot. Most of you just bankroll the shit. You just bankroll the shit. Bankrolls. Bankrolls. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Long time no see. Ridiculous. Just for the record, I do have to leave in 20 minutes. Let me make sure there's nobody hanging out on my link. Because, you know, I got to move around mountains around here. Oop, oop, oop. Nobody's hanging out there. Okay, so moving on. Again, if you ain't never spoke to me, you would have to address me on the link. And I played y'all game today. That's StreamYards. So stranger danger, hop on the StreamYards and talk to me. Otherwise, get the fuck up out of here. And yeah, I said it like that. Get the fuck up out of here. Cause that's how I feel about most of y'all anyway. I don't give a good goddamn. I really truly don't. Let me see why I get these interruptions. And y'all can make, and I'm gonna tell y'all can make all the videos y'all want to make about me. I don't give a good goddamn. Cause there's really nothing anybody could say to me other than throw me some facts. You can throw me some facts, or you can talk your truths. But at the end of the day, I just be seeing people make weak moves over here all the motherfucking time. And it'd be killing me watching these fake plays. And it'd be killing me that people think that this is like, that y'all feel that any channel in this little circle, in this little nucleus, is a big channel. No, it's not. It's not. Because even, and let me tell you about notoriety and becoming a famous YouTuber. Because some people equate that sometimes to some of our channels and be like, oh, Momo is a famous YouTuber. When people had the chance to become a famous YouTuber, let's just say like their channel handle went viral out of this community, I'll say it again. Your shit wasn't sustainable. Your shit was not sustainable. You was not ready for prime time. You was not ready for prime time. Only people that have the time to attack me are those people who are the funders. If you are the person with the money bags are always going to be upset because they can't put their money on it. Or you're interrupting the flow of where their money is going. If you ever want to upset the cartel, chase down the money. Fuck with the sponsors. So let me wrap up by going to the last phase of what I saw yesterday and what heartened my soul was watching people again manipulate subscribers here for money. To bankroll their endeavors. It's crazy how people do that. It is crazy how people do that. It's unfortunate also. It's extremely unfortunate. It's unfortunate that folks around here have their real accounts and they gotta hide behind troll accounts because they don't want to be seen. They're like kids around here. You know how they say children should be seen but not heard? Some of y'all should practice that because y'all got children-like behaviors around here. Children-like behaviors in grown spaces. Things that are for 18 and over, and some of you haven't fucking matured since then. It's nice to see where the hate comes from. But in any event, to see somebody honestly give to somebody is crazy. To honestly give to somebody, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So I hope that Sparkle is able to come out of this unscathed mentally and emotionally. Because the stuff that I saw going down yesterday was a tragedy. It just absolutely was a tragedy. that somebody gave somebody that almost nearly $2,000. And other people try to point out to somebody you're being used. But sometimes people on here, right, for content growing purposes amongst the cemetery that they lead, because I'm never going to let people forget that they are the leader in the cemetery, that when they are leading in the cemetery, they want the donations and the contributors for themselves. So the best thing to do is to try to cut off the other people that might get the donations and the contributions. But in any event, the person in play right now and the stuff I saw going down, it looks like they could become the new cash cow if you provide. What was that narrative y'all was using? Dry begging. I heard that terminology. I didn't know what it meant, but when stuff popped off with Alethea and myself, when Alethea went on P. Smith's panel, when it was brought back to me, people said, well, after the smoke cleared, you know, some people were deemed to be dry begging. And yesterday, I really got a deeper understanding of the construct of that concept. So it's not where you directly ask the person for some money. So just in case, you know, the wife in that duel, the Robinsons, just in case she didn't understand what dry begging was, which I think she understands because she pushes that narrative. When it came down to dry begging, dry begging, the person is really giving you a story and hoping that it tugs at your purse strings. And you, instead of them directly asking you for the money, you feel so compelled that you offer the money. See, if I don't go to you directly and say, hey, Karen, you know, I was short a little on my groceries. Is it possible that you could go and, if you could lend me $15 so I could get some groceries this week? See, the word is lend. That insinuates that I'm going to give Karen back her $15. But if you go ahead and you dry beg and you just say, hey, listen, Karen, you ain't gonna believe what happened to me. I went to the grocery store and you know these fucking prices is going up and I had to get the baby formula first and blah, because you know I got my grandbaby over here, la 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 la. So I couldn't get any eggs and milk and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be good. Oh girl, you know, oh really? You couldn't get no eggs and milk? So what you doing for? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm good. We gonna make it do. You know, we gonna open up. What the fuck was that? They were supposed to open up some cans of what they had, spam or whatever they had over there. Oh, potted meat. We just gonna eat the potted meat. That's how the dry begging plot begins. It plants a seed in your head to make your heart go in and be like, nah, I can't see you just eating potted meat. Let me give you yada dee dada dee, yada dee dada dee. And you end up giving the person that thing. And even if you find out later on, because they go on a live and they say, well, once somebody give me the money, it don't matter what I spend it on. Because once the money's in my hands, it's for me to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I didn't ask the bitch to give me no money. She gave it to me on her own. I never asked her for it. So somebody can sit up there on a platform and say, she gave it to me. Honestly, because they dry bagged. And yeah, that was definitely pointed out that people were dry bagging over there. And it's obvious that that is the status, whatever. That's the status quo around here. Quid pro quid quo pro. That's what they do around here. That's standard operating procedures for the folks around here in the begging department. That's what they do. And that's where we end at. So it's just unfortunate. I've seen them cause this kind of carnage with folks, and it's a cycle that doesn't break until you are uplifted out of the cemetery, out of this Kanyekian. Oh, I had it backwards. Quid pro quo. Well, we're gonna say quid. We're gonna say quid quo pro over here because this is in my fictitious world. And in the fictitious world, you can make up anything and it be acceptable because no one's gonna challenge you on miss things in a fictitious world. In a real world, in something that's not a hypothetical reality that only you buy into. And I'm gonna come back with more on this hypothetical reality. Not next show, but further down the line as things progress itself, because this is a build upon moment in the activities that go on around here. So and sometimes people, right, when they are in fear of retaliation, you tend to stand in shit that you really wouldn't stand in if you wasn't fearful of the retaliation. And I think we have seen, and only people that have been victimized can confirm this. So you don't have to confirm it out loud to me, but confirm it to yourself if you've ever been victimized by the platforms out here. And many people have been victimized by the robbing sinners. So this is why you see the reaction that you're seeing. Now, people preach about forgiveness. And I heard people giving examples of how to apologize. I just want to remind people again, anyone can apologize to you for anything. It's your option to accept the apology or not. Just because someone apologized to you does not mean you must accept their apology. This is how you accept the apology. Since people are giving out lessons on how to apologize, I take that under advisement. That's what you do when you get these hypocritical apologies. That's this fake ass apologies around here. Or even if they're genuine apologies and you know that you ain't gonna fuck with that person no more. You don't have to ever accept an apology. I heard somebody say you have to accept an apology. And I'm like, no, you don't. The apology is for the apologizer. Oh, they get cleansed by saying the apology. It doesn't matter if you accept their apology or not. That's why hypocrites say, they don't even say I'm sorry anymore. They use terminology like, I apologize if that made you feel this way. They're not really apologizing to you in essence. majority of the time. They're just clearing themselves. They spoke it into existence. It's for themselves. It's not for you, the person they're apologizing to. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's self-gratification majority of the time. When people apologize and it's well meant, you will see it in every action that they take after the apology. But for the most part, an apology is for the apologizer, the person making it. It is for their benefit. You don't have to accept it. You could be cordial with it, but you never have to accept an apology. You don't even have to decline the apology, because it is for the apologizer's self-purpose. If you choose to say to the apologizer, hey, I accept your apology, that's your choice to make. You don't have to accept somebody's apology. And even if you do choose to accept their apology, you don't have to go back to fucking with that person. See, people believe that you have to work in this forgiveness world. The forgiveness part of it is if you hand that off to a stronger authority, or you hand that off to a stronger place within you, and you want to forgive, you go right ahead. Once you wrong me, you have wronged me. And I'm sorry to say, and this is a Monica moment. So this might not work for everybody. This is my own personal preference, and it might not be doctrine somewhere. But if you wronged me for life. And I'm always going to remember that. And I think there's a difference between forgiving and moving forward, and accepting an apology, but not providing that forgiveness factor. People are always, I have had tons of conversations on here behind the scenes with people telling me why I should forgive people. You understand? From a spiritual sense to a righteous moment. And the bottom line is, it is your option to do whatever you will with that apology. But understand that they owe you nothing beyond that apology. And if you are expecting something beyond that apology, you have just set yourself up for a debacle, a complete failure. That's why I'd rather not engage in a conversation where a person has to apologize to me for something that they did. Because the apologies never last. They will come back and rise up against you. It's in the words of Shaka Zulu's mother. They will come back and rise up against you. The best thing you could do when a person has wronged you is watch their actions. Their actions will do what, guys? Speak louder than words. And then you can judge a man on his actions. So, there might be some people that will never verbalize, I'm sorry, Mo, I did this to you, blah, 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 blah. But there will be people that will show you by their actions that they've made changes. Now, I don't know what happened between some people and narratives around here. I went on John Frank's, and I'm going to close on this. I went on John Frank's panel yesterday because he was calling out Myron and he wanted to speak to Myron. And John Frank, I went up there with an enormous revelation. You call somebody's mama, grown ass people calling people's mamas, that's a whole nother WARship. But I will say this, I want people to stop believing that when I'm speaking what I believe, that I am validating you. I'm speaking from my perspective on what I see, how I see something. It's not to validate or invalidate another person's actions. It is to give you, in Karen's words, my perspective on something. But it is not to say you are wrong or you are right in the way that you conduct yourself. That's for you to deal with. That's not, I don't have no personal liability about anything of that nature. So the perception out here, it has been that I have taken up for people in these arguments that are going around inside the cemetery. Get no misunderstandings about this. I have taken no positions. And it's not because I can't pick a side either way or that way or this way. It's because I don't give a fuck about you people's bullshit. I am not going to buy into fake shit. Just like I don't purchase fake shit, I'm not going to sit up here and play around with fake shit and try to make it real. When I got myself involved in the $10,000 scam plus, because there was a plus to that, it was because I believed that shit was wrong and I put my actions to it. And I stand on that shit to this day. Although I don't know what the final resolve was, because you guys were so jealous of me that you had to intervene in there. Y'all had to interrupt my actions. I couldn't see it to the end. So I can only speak on what I know. But at the end of the day, I've watched you guys around here. I've watched y'all manipulate shit and do shit and feel as if I am riding along with some of this shit. I'm here to tell you, no, I'm not. When I speak on something, I'm speaking from my perspective on it. And if your perception of what I'm saying is miscombobulated, it might be because you're not an independent thinker as of yet. You're not critically thinking for yourself. You're allowing people to manipulate the information that you receive and give you their narrative for you to carry on with it in your journey. But guess what? That ain't got shit to do with me. Because the day you transition into becoming an independent thinker and critically think for oneself is the day that you and I will be on the same mother freaking level. And there are many people who are out here in this community that are on the same level as me. No one, and I'm going to make this motherfucking abundantly clear, no one is above me but my God. Go ahead, do your amens. Do your hallelujahs. No one is above me but my God. Everybody can either be on the same level as me or be I ain't even fucking with you. It's not even a lower vibration. It's just I'm not fucking with you. Yo, try to incorporate some of that in your incorporate, good word. Try to incorporate that in your plans, in your scripts. Try to make it where you are respecting thy neighbor, where you respect the people around you. Try to live on those principles. And let's see where it takes many of you. Focus on those things. No one is above me. So, but those are the narratives you folks run with. Until we meet again, this broadcast was brought to you by the M and the O. Mo.